Hey guys, Runaways is back, so am I. I'm not wearing a hat because I was knitting one, but it's way too big. So I've got to unravel that and start that over, but that's okay. So I kind of dropped the ball with these Runaways videos after season 1 ended. I kind of felt like I no longer needed to be a resource for information since the show became popular enough that everyone was talking about it and anyone could get information literally anywhere. But some trailers came out for season 2 and I really want to talk about them, so we're going to talk about them. Including promo stills for all 13 episodes of season 2. I'm not going to include them in this video because of spoiler content. Alright, let's go. So the trailer opens and we see the Pride. They're looking for their kids, no surprise there. One of the things I think is interesting is they have like facial recognition software that they're going to use to track them down, which, yeah, makes sense. And that's not what I'm concerned about. I'm mostly concerned about who these people are in the background at this supposed Pride headquarters. Next on the trailer, we get quite a couple of action shots. We see especially Nico against Tina fighting with the staff of one. If the trailer is showing the events chronologically, which they typically don't, but assuming they do, the kids run away only to be back in the clutches of their parents to fight them again. In the comics, after the kids escape, the parents call them up and say, oh, by the way, we have Molly, and if you don't come back, we will kill her. And then they come back, and then there's a fight, and then all of the kids run away and end up in their secret hideout. As I mentioned, we also get to see Tina Minoru using the Staff of One in combat, which is kind of neat considering what happens afterwards. Nico says that if they're going to work together as a team, they have to train and get better, which makes me think that if, again, these events are happening chronologically, the fight with the parents is sort of a wake-up call for the kids to realize that if they're going to be a team and they're going to do whatever it is they've decided they need to do, they really need to work on perfecting their abilities, whether it's fighting or superpowers or any of those things. And I feel like that's a common narrative in a lot of the superhero shows that I've seen, so I think that's a good starting point to explore potential stories for the characters and their own personal hero journeys. I think Nico saying that line is also interesting in that we're sort of going to be seeing her evolve more and more into the leader. I feel like over the course of the comics she sort of accidentally stumbled into the role as the leader of the Runaways, whereas in the first season of the show they were really leaning on Chase as sort of, I don't want to say leader again, but yeah, as the leader of the Runaways. Hopefully in season 2 we'll sort of see how that power switches over to Nico, potentially. We also see the Runaways in sort of this weird base camp hideout, possibly for wayward lost runaway teens, before they stumble upon the hostel. It seems like Molly finds it, and I'm pretty sure Chase was the one to lead them to the hostel. I think he was the one who drove them there. Then we've got some shots with Carolina and Jonah. Now I've mentioned in the past that I don't really like the Jonah character, and that's another thing. That has nothing to do with how I feel about the rest of Runaways. The interaction between Carolina and Jonah could potentially lead her to be the mole, and I've seen some discussion on this already, and some people are saying that's definitely going against Carolina's character, that she wouldn't intentionally betray her friends. And I also agree with that, but I think in trying to figure out herself, she may accidentally stumble into something or say something that she wasn't meant to. Similar to how in season 1 Molly wanted to connect with her past and accidentally outed her team as well. I also really like that Carolina and Jonah met outside of Griffith Observatory. It was a nice touch considering how Griffith connects to Carolina's past, and in a way so does Jonah. I love the bit with the portrait and then it zooms into the eyes that someone's watching them. That was straight out of a Runaways comic. They're really doing the most for us, and I really appreciate that. This is a good moment to also introduce Topher. Never thought we'd be seeing him. And to the user who commented on my video like a year ago saying they hope to see Topher on the show, do you work for Hulu? Are you a psychic? Hit me up if you are, just saying. But in all seriousness, you really nailed that one, so good job. However, instead of being a vampire, which admittedly would be a little out of place in this Runaways series as it stands right now, Topher appears to have the same abilities, or mutation, or inhuman powers, or whatever it is we're calling it, as our lovely Miss Molly Hernandez. But we definitely see Molly have a solo story this season, which you can probably guess that I'm a little psyched about that. There were definitely moments where she looked or felt alienated from the group, and I think introducing Topher, someone who's so much like her, could potentially drive her away from the Runaways for a spell. She like flips a car, she has like finger guns, you know, she's sort of acting a little badass and maybe a little rebellious and could have been misguided by Topher somewhere down the way, which is a really interesting character choice and an exploration of her that I'm really looking forward to seeing. There's one shot in the trailer that looks like Topher's being injured and Molly's being very upset about that, so there's definitely some kind of connection that is going to be happening. Alright, that's enough about Molly Hernandez. We know this is the Molly Hernandez fan club, but let's talk about the rest of the trailer. There's a moment of Janet Stein looking around some kind of lab, kind of intrigued, confused. In season 1, we really did introduce her ability to change and her growth as a character, so I think there should be some moments for her as well to continue that story. I don't know what this thing is, but the freaking like KKK looking nonsense, I don't know who allowed this. I don't know if it was an oversight or an accident, but I hate it. I don't even care about the context, I just hate it already, so. Okay. So, the thing at the bottom of the hole. We already know that this is the energy that's replacing the Gibberim as sort of the big power, like world-changing power. But one of the things I just think is so funny is that like the fact that it causes earthquakes. All I can think of is the greenhouse. Okay, there's a group shot, but there's an extra girl. Who is she? She can't be Zavin, right? I don't think. I mean, Captain Marvel is introducing Skrulls into the MCU. There's also a shot of Alex seemingly protecting her from some shattering glass, which I assume is a broken car. So she is someone that we're gonna care about and want to save. There's a party! Do they crash it? Do they throw it? Or is the party a dream? It could be a dream sequence. Who knows, right? Like, I think that could be interesting as well. Like, the kids wishing and wanting for some normalcy, like a prom or a homecoming, just like a longing for the life that they've given up by being on the run. More action right after that. The hostel gets broken into by the SWAT or the FBI or some guys with guns. So that's fun. We also get a shot of Alex with cornrows. Is it a disguise? Is it a flashback? We don't have context, but it's a fun hairstyle that indicates some kind of change. I'm hoping it's a flashback. I think that could be kind of cool. Alright, I think that's everything for today. I had fun talking about the trailer for season 2, and I can't wait to watch the show with all of you guys. As always, if you have any comments about Runaways, leave them in a comment and I will be sure to get back to you. I love having a discussion with other Runaways fans about Runaways, or just about superheroes and Marvel in general. I'm wearing an X-Men shirt right now, so speaking of comments, let me know in the comments what other kind of Runaways content you're looking for. I want to keep making Runaways content, but I don't feel like I necessarily need to be a news source anymore. So if there's anything in particular you would like me to talk about, this includes news. If you want me to deliver you the news, I'll do it. Let me know in the comments as well. Alright, I will see you guys December 21st, technically, or January 2nd if you're a Canadian, like me. Alright, see you next time. Bye! I can't believe I shot that. How long is this? 22 minutes? That's not that bad. So, Runaways Season 2 airs December 21st on Hulu. You get all 13 episodes streaming. This is not an ad. It really sounds like it, but it's not. Outside of how itchy this is on my forehead. I want to comb my hair out, but I feel like I can't because my mom, my hair is too long. Wow, I think I've covered everything. Neat.